I almost muted myself trying to unmute myself. What's good, everybody? It's Thursday night. Yeah, it's Thursday night, October 19th. We're starting week 7 now, and I can't tell you what the game is going to be like yet, but I will tell you I hope one team scores more than 20 points. That's all I hope for. I don't know what my co-host is going to say about this game. We haven't really talked about it. I tried to get him to, give me a little bit of info on what he was going to say by preemptively telling what I thought about the Saints defense and the Jaguars defense. He didn't budge. He was saving it for the show. So let me welcome him to the show. What's good, Syl? How you doing, bro?
What's up? We here sideline in New Orleans for the game. And looking forward, it's Thursday night football, so you can't be mad about that.
Nah, dude, nah. Especially when it's like, oh, football's back. Okay, the weekend's starting, Everyone's going to phone it in tomorrow at work. We know that.
This is our first, since we started the good countdown last season, this is our first Thursday.
Yes.
Doing the countdown. It's evolving. Things are percolating with these shows, and it's football season, man.
Hey, man, we've been waiting for this too. We've been kind of talking about the Thursday night countdown. We're like, yeah, man, we're gonna do it this week. It's always hard, obviously, to get going, and especially like I am actively making a different show for us on the good countdown. So I was like, all right, well, do I wait till I make that to make the Thursday countdown? But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, right? Like, hey, the time's called for it. Let's just have a show. Let's do it and let's stop.
Call the audible and just roll with it.
Yeah, let's run with it, dude. And we have to start the show out by saying what's good to everybody in the chat. Obviously, Israel's here, the homie. Danielle Berry, Sports Highlights. Appreciate you for coming through. And MTJ, Money Train James, affectionately known as Money Train Wayne in the fantasy league. I always love going against him because I'm just gonna get a bunch of smack talk in my DMs like the whole time. I know it's gonna happen, but just don't reply to it. But
I'm trying to make a little money tonight. Money Train, man. We'll see what happens.
Before we talk about that, let's bring up and do a quick reaction to what we started. Another thing we started this week, our power rankings. I don't know, was it my idea? Did I hit you with that, or I think Israel hit it in the chat? I was thinking about it.
You gave the idea. Yeah,
I hit you. I think on my way to work, I was like, "Yo, I need this. I need your top 10." And you gave it to me mad quick. I was like, "Oh shit!" I wasn't even prepared.
Because it's funny. It's funny, Austin, because when you messaged me about it, I was already kind of thinking of power rankings.
Okay,
not even to put one out, but I was just personally, I was like, who do I think is on top right now? You know what I mean? So it's when you messaged me, I was like, oh, I was just thinking about this.
That's hilarious, dude. Because you were so quick to the response. I'm like, oh damn, bro. You were ready, bro. You were ready. But do you want to just go over real quick? We can go through our top 5. Everyone else can watch that video if you want to go through our power rankings. It's on SylNation Sports Network. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Links in the description, obviously. But I want to go through our top 5 because our top 5 isn't the same order-wise, but they're the same teams, right?
Yeah. My idea really was kind of the why behind the list. I thought this would be a good show to kind of hey, this is why I have this team here and things like that, right? So with the Lions number 1, which was the most controversial thing, I guess, for a lot of people. As soon as you told me about the idea for power rankings, I said, well, okay, it's like a snapshot, right? I'm not seeing, the Lions are the best team for the whole season. Money Train, James. But what I'm saying is that right now, a snapshot of what just happened, up to week 6.
Yeah.
This is what I'm anticipating going into this week and probably a trend for the next couple of weeks. So, long story short, Lions, as I said, and you did a great video on this, recapping my notes. They're the most balanced team right now. The Lions, they're relatively healthy, though they're still kind of banged up on defense, running backs. But overall, you got Jared Goff, you got that offensive line, and defense, is solid. So I was like, hey, they're solid. you can't never discount the Chiefs, but the Lions beat the Chiefs, right? So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, Lions number one. That's at this moment,
Simple.
right? So you know what I mean? So that's how I kind of did that. The Chiefs, they've been undefeated since opening night against the Lions. So that was an easy number 2 slot for me with again, one-loss teams we're talking about for the top 5 here, right? So Dolphins playing out of their minds, but can I put them over the Chiefs? I wasn't ready to. So that's why they're sliding right there, but they're playing great offensively. 49ers took the L. Not trying to punish them because they took the L. I'm punishing them more because we're not sure about Christian McCaffrey for the next couple of weeks. We're not sure about Deebo Samuels for the next couple of weeks. So I can't keep them number 1 just in my eyes, or I can't put them over the Lions right now or the Chiefs. And I think the Dolphins are playing that well, so that's why the 49ers are there, but I do anticipate they're going to jump back up. The Eagles, I was finding a reason to drop them. So they finally lost the game.
That's how I felt.
They finally lost the game. So that's why I'm number 5. And just an honorable mention, I just want to say real quick towards the bottom, I put the Browns at number 10 because they've really been playing. They've been playing out of their mind. They've been playing a lot of division games in the AFC North. So I was like, I'm going to give them credit that their division is really good. And they've been hanging with the Ravens, with the Steelers, and they beat the 49ers. And their defense is nuts. Myles Garrett crossing over people, on defense.
Yeah.
So that's why I snuck them in there. Honorable mention, bubble teams. I considered the Steelers. But I hate their quarterback, man. So I was like, I can't put them there.
Can you pick 6?
Yeah, and my favorite team to talk about this season, the Rams. They have my favorite names: Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell. They're on the bubble there, but they have 2 losses. So I was like, I can't really put them up there. Like the Ravens right there, Bills right there. I wasn't ready to put the Rams up there yet until they get another quality win. So that's kind of the makeup of my snapshot after week 6 there.
Yeah, and my bad for not including your bubble teams in the actual video, but I did put them in the description of the video. I put yours in there and your little descriptors that you sent me with Matthew Stafford. You also said Matthew Stafford is dad of the year for the Rams.
Dad of the year. Yeah.
You also
that's the whole thing. The little kids, he babysitting the kids, because I always said Derek Carr, who's playing he's with the Saints tonight. I was like, he's trying to play, good dad. But Stafford's the dad of the year because he's really bringing the kids along. So shout out to Matthew Stafford.
Right. And no matter what his wife says on whatever podcast.
His wife says, bro.
But I like I said, I agree with your top 5, but I guess we disagreed on where they're ranked. For me, as of week 6, and maybe this skewed your pick a little bit with the 49ers, and you're thinking more towards the future. I'm looking up, like you said, I tried to do it up till week 6. Even though they had that loss against the Cleveland defense, Cleveland's D is amazing. Like you said, that's why they're in the top 10 for you. They just, what are they going to do for the quarterback? We don't know. Is Deshaun Watson going to play? We don't know. So I think the 49ers, they had a bad game against a great defense. And if you watch that game, Brock Purdy still brought them down the field and gave them an opportunity to win the game, but Moody, the kicker, missed the field goal. So they could have still won that game very handedly. In the end, they had the opportunity to. It just the kicker missed the field goal, so they didn't win and they lost. So I chalked that up to it was just a bad game in the rain, in the elements against a good defense. So that's why I still have them at number 1.
All right, I just want to chime in real quick because definitely, because I want to make it clear when the fact, and especially for Israel in the chat, dropping the 49ers is not that they simply lost, because I think highly of the Browns defense, so that's why the Browns is right there. But it's, again, they got dinged up. Can they sustain going the next week or 2 without possibly McCaffrey or Deebo or both? Without both. So that's why I slide them. It's more of the injury, the effect of their 2 top weapons, not because they simply lost. So
I got you. No, I got you.
Out there.
That's what I said. Like up till now, without the injuries, they've been great. Obviously, with the injuries, you don't know what they're going to be like. So,
Mhm.
come week 7, you might see the 49ers drop a bunch on my list. It could happen. It could happen. This list will fluctuate,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It will, and it's meant to. That's the whole point, because things change week to week, especially early in the season. I said in our SylNation's Sports Network chat, I said week 7 to week 10 is really where the pretenders and the contenders will show themselves, and that's what will determine. Yeah. So from now until week 10, this list is really going to fluctuate. But then after that, I don't see it changing a lot. Rather, the bottom 5 will probably change the most, and the top 5 will be set. But I had the Lions at number 3. Not trying to be disrespectful, but I will say, compared to the 49ers and Dolphins, the 49ers and Dolphins have been more consistent over a longer period of time, meaning like the last couple of seasons, not just this season, not just a flash in the pan. So we'll see how that goes for the rest of the season for the Lions. They can rise. They can obviously rise on my list. Room to improve for the Lions. That's how you should look at it, Money Train. And like you said with the Eagles, I was looking for a reason to drop that dude. Like Jalen Hurts, man, he's just been playing super subpar this year.
Yeah.
He's behind, as everyone says, he's behind the best offensive line in the league. So there's no reason for them not to be executing and not scoring the football. And then I got the Chiefs at 5 because I guess maybe I just haven't. Maybe I haven't watched them enough this year, but I will say, they have come close to losing a lot of games this year. They've been playing really sloppy. Thanks to Patrick Mahomes and superior coaching, I guess, by Andy Reid, they've come out with these W's. But they almost lost against the Jets. Like, we're in Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's on the sideline. He's like, I lost this game. Not the Chiefs beat us.
He didn't fumble. Yeah, if he didn't fumble.
Right.
And with the Chiefs too, in the Chiefs real quick, because they're playing a different style this season. And that's probably why you're kind of docking them. They're not, obviously Tyreek Hill has been gone for a couple seasons, but even last year they had Juju, Smith-Schuster. They got McCall Harmon just back now. He was with them. So they have, more like, sort of weapons. This year, I'm going to give credit to Mahomes. He really has just Kelsey, but he's looking at Taylor Swift the whole game. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, who does, what I mean? So they're playing a different style, and I see why you would dock them. I just think even with this different style, they're playing better just in my opinion, they're playing better than the Eagles, in my opinion. And it's just no way I could put them over the Lions because the Lions outmatched them when they matched up. So
yeah, we both have the Lions over the Chiefs. To be accurate. So we differ, but we agree on a lot of things here. So you love to see it. Yes, the Cowboys did make the list because they are leading their division. So that's why, man. And
Cowboys, Cowboys. Good. I know we make fun of Cowboys fans a lot. Like our friend Necron, we make fun of that a lot, and that's cool. But I was really impressed how they beat the Chargers. I was actually impressed how the defense stepped up, and Dak, we shouldn't be like, oh, give Dak a cookie every time he doesn't mess up, but that's just what he's become, right? He's a above average quarterback that you expect to mess up.
It sucks, dude. He's been, but I said, and I hate when I repeat myself, but I'll say it again. Dak Prescott has been playing for 7 years, man. At this point, it's like, this is who he is. It's not
he's a veteran.
Yeah. That's who you are at this point. Like, there's not going to be like, Dak Prescott not turn the ball over. It's like, well, he's gonna. Like, it's just gonna happen.
You expect it, right? And so, one question with your list too, if you want to throw this out there too. I mean, you can if you want to, but explain. You got the Bucks up there where they have 2 losses, right? So if you could explain, I know you said it in the video a little bit, but
that's not it.
But just if you want a reason, because again, I understand on my list, the Browns, that 9-10 spot is like a wild card, for the list. So I get it. That's why I had the Browns down there because there was no way I could put them over any of the other teams. But you got the Buccaneers up there. If you want to explain while they're there.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Well, they are 3-2. They did have their bye week already. They're not the only. Every team from 5 on down has 2 losses. Jags, Cowboys, Bills, Ravens. Even the Browns have. I think the
Right.
Browns actually have
Yeah,
3
two.
losses.
I got
2.
two.
Okay, 2.
Yeah.
So, so they all have 2 losses. For me though, the Bucks, they're leading their division. Their division lead. It's not, by any slight or any any imagination of mine that I think they're a good team. To me, it's their defense. Their defense has been playing well. Yes, they got schooled by the Lions, but look at it this way: the Lions still only scored 20 points, and there was a lot of field goals in that game. Baker Mayfield and the offense had tons of opportunities to make it a close game, and like I said, the defense is playing well. I think I'm going to chalk last game up to just a bad game by Baker Mayfield. He overthrew a lot of people. I think some of the timing was off with the rookie wide receivers. And I don't expect to see that again. That was the worst performance by Baker Mayfield in a Buccaneers uniform that we've seen so far. So I'm going to chalk that up to just a bad game, and they're still an underrated team. Obviously, you can call that bias or whatever you want, but I watch more Buccaneers. They have one of the top defenses in the league. Baker Mayfield, before last week, he did lead the league in third down percentage and I think under pressure percentage. So he's playing great so far this season. They need a running game. I wish they would trade for Saquon Barkley, but that's why I have them up there. They're a division lead. If you look at this, the Bills and the just the Bills, I guess. Just the Bills really are, and then maybe the Browns for you and the Ravens for me aren't leading their division. So
right. What's your bubble teams if you have any?
My bubble teams were the Bengals and the Seahawks. Because to me, they're playing the most complete out of all the teams that aren't leading their division. Bengals are 3-3. Seahawks are 3-2, just like the Buccaneers. But like the Seahawks, I man, having an early bye week, I don't know what it does to these teams, but it just came out flat last Sunday.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Yeah,
with
it
the
was.
Seahawks, because I was, they would have been in my bubble if they. Not just because they lost to the Bengals, it's the way they lost, the way the Seahawks lost. I was just like, offensively, Geno Smith's been playing good. He's a great story this past year. He's still solid, but just something's not. I see them running into trouble like more than not, especially in their division with the Rams and the 49ers. So I couldn't quite put them up there, especially with the loss on top of that.
Yeah.
Because that would have been an easy pencil in, bottom 5 right there in the top 10. But
yeah,
they lost.
That's why they lost. But again, though, I think for my list, I was trying to, and I favored the better defenses more. It's like if you had a better defense, that to me, for what I've seen for football for all my life, if you have a good defense, you have a chance to go far. Like if you can stop the other team from scoring, then you have a chance to win the game. So
exactly.
Simple as that. So that's
these power rankings. This is gonna be fun. Like I said, every week, and we're gonna tick off a lot of people. And I think what you were saying, it makes sense to at least reveal our list Tuesdays.
Yes.
And then maybe, like I said, it'll give time for people to react, and then Thursdays is a good night to kind of explain it. Going forward. So
yeah, and who knows? Possibly do a live for Tuesdays. We'll see how up in arms people get over those power rankings. We might have to go live. Like,
it'll be cool.
Yeah, on this right now.
It will be cool to do. Yeah, like a live reveal. It could be a short show, and But again, I would just reveal it, and then I'm not going to explain too much on Tuesday. It's just going to be like, this is the power rankings. Who's mad? Okay, then Thursday I'll explain it.
Yeah, the Tuesday show should also be kind of like where we can recap, because that's a lot of what we do where we're looking ahead. We haven't looked back on the previous weekends too much, so we could definitely do that. It's funny how we always brainstorm live, but that's what we do,
bro. Tuesday the recap, and then power rankings reveal, and And then Money Train James would probably be mad every week. So
every week, dude. The disrespect, dude. Yo, Money Train. Everybody in the top 5 is leading their division, just so you know. And the Buccaneers are leading their division too. That's why they're in my top 10. So, well, let's not waste any time. We got about maybe a half hour, 25 minutes till a game starts. It's like 8:20 when the game starts. They're the Vegas betting odds makers are saying that the Saints, the 3-3 Saints are favored at home. And I think that was partially due to maybe Trevor Lawrence being out, but I will say he is expected to play tonight. He's listed as questionable on the injury report, but he is expected to play. One area of concern for him coming back to play is that there's also people injured, players injured on his offensive line. I think Brandon Scherr is his name. That's another guard or left tackle, I believe, who was listed on the injury report as questionable, but that's usually, hey, they might be able to get in it, but it's a short week, man. These Thursday night games, they do a doozy on the teams. But early little outlook on both these teams before we kind of get into the numbers of everything is that the obviously Saints lost last weekend, and I believe Jacksonville won, if I'm not mistaken.
They won.
Okay. Yeah. And Jaguars 4-2, Saints 3-3, and the defenses are probably going to be like the story of this game. Not a lot of people are predicting a high game for this because these are like two of the top defenses in the NFL going against each other. But what do you think about? Do you think those odds are due to the fact that Trevor Lawrence is injured? Because like, how could you favor a 3-3 team over a 4-2 team?
Yeah, I'm sure that was the opening line. I will say since Trevor Lawrence been cleared, he's officially active he has a knee injury now. So Vegas still hasn't fully okay, let's swing it back. The Saints are still favored, I think, by 2 points still. They probably went down like a half a point or something.
A half a point, okay.
Yeah, so that's still pretty accurate. With Vegas is thinking the Saints at home. Maybe it's the injury factor still, like how much is Trevor really going to be effective? So the line is pretty much still the same.
Yeah. So I guess they're not giving the Jacksonville team too much credit on the road, even though they did go to London and win 2 games. So they're just flying over to New Orleans. It's not like it's a big trip for them. I'm sure there's actually going to be a lot of Jacksonville fans over there because, like I said, Jacksonville over the New Orleans, like people do that flight all the time. So I wouldn't be surprised, especially on a Thursday night. Have a weekend out there in New Orleans. What a time it would be for them to visit New Orleans, win on Thursday night, and just stay there for Friday maybe and just party. I was at Beale Street. I forget what that is, but the main thing for this game is obviously the defenses and how the offenses can score against the defenses. Derek Carr has led an offense that's only scored 20 plus points this season. Once. They've only done it once out of 6 games. They've only scored more than 20 points. Dude, I remember when 30 points was like the average you needed to all right, that's a good team. You can't score over 20 points, man. It's like it's sad to see. But what do you expect from Derek Carr, who last week versus the Texans he did have 353 yards last week, but only 1 touchdown and an interception. So what do you think Derek Carr is going to pull off against the Jacksonville defense tonight?
I think Derek Carr, like I said, I put him on the top dad list, right? So I think he's going to be the grown-up. And what I mean by that, if people don't realize, is grown-up quarterbacks, right? Not too, emotional, he's been in the league. He's a veteran. Like Dak is like the uncle, right? It's like Derek Carr is like Derek Carr is like dad. You know what I mean? So it's like I trust Derek Carr more than the uncle, right? So it's like I think he's going to. But the thing is, it's a ceiling with Derek Carr, right? That's when we've kind of realized with his career, and it's almost like he has to start off hot to kind of carry over. Like, I don't see him coming back, bringing the team back. So, but with this Jags defense, I think is a little banged up as well too. I think I was looking at it's some secondary. Actually, you got the lineman out, secondary, and then on offense they got a tackle out as far as the Jags do.
Yep.
So the Saints, they're banged up themselves actually, all across the as far as on the offensive line as well. So that's going to affect Derek Carr's performance. I'll just say with that, but something about the Saints at home that always gives them a chance though. So
that is fair. Well, and Derek Carr, speaking about that, like getting pressured, his regular like overall QBR in the season is 85.9, which I mean, not great, I guess average. I guess you kind of expect that from Derek Carr, but under a blitz, his percentage falls down to what was it? I'm sorry, 78 QBR versus the blitz, dude. That is not good, obviously, and that is the area of attack on all QBs and all I guess average QBs. If you can get to them, if you can pressure them, put a hand in their face, they're gonna get flustered and they're gonna make a mistake. That's what happens. And actually reviewing this game, it's made me like almost disappointed in the NFL like quarterback play so far this season. Like it hasn't been consistently great. I will say I haven't watched all NFL teams. I know that CJ Stroud down there versus the Texans been playing great. Brock Purdy's been playing great. I know Patrick Mahomes is trying to do everything he possibly can. Josh Allen's been average though, and,
up and down. Not
having Aaron Rodgers there, like you don't have a pedigree of what a good QB is. And even then, like we're talking about offensive lines, the Jets offensive line is terrible too. That's why he got injured on the fourth play, is because he had to run away and he had a defensive lineman on his ankle. So I've been disappointed by the overall quarterback play this year. And I'd said that, Derek Carr, an average quarterback, who I think is an average quarterback, and that's not that I don't mean that as a slight either. To be an average quarterback in the NFL, you're better than so many other quarterbacks.
Yeah, he's not a scrub.
No.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, I'd rather have him than my baby quarterback on the Bears. So yeah, I'm good with Derek Carr as average.
You would rather take Derek Carr over Justin Fields?
Yeah, because I know what I'm getting. With Justin Fields, I have no idea what I'm getting.
That's fair. Yeah, you got an anomaly versus consistency. Yeah, I get that, bro. I get that. So, but that is, he's got, like I said, 85.9 average QBR versus Trevor Lawrence, who I want him to be an elite QB. He has everything, all of the, insert football talk here for the next couple minutes. He's got all the tangibles. He's got everything you want as a quarterback. He's got the size. He's got the arm. He's got the mobility. He's able to, take hits, and he a short week this week, had a sprained ankle, and he's back to play this week. So the best ability is availability. It's just, are you gonna get over that hump? Are you gonna be elite? Like right now, you're a good quarterback, but I need elite out of Trevor Lawrence.
Because it's one thing with last year with Trevor Lawrence, because that was my dark horse team, right? The Jags, and they caught up at the end and won their division. Made it to the playoffs, won the first game, and they're them just making the playoffs alone. I put a lot of that on coaching. A Super Bowl winning coach, Doug Peterson, and the staff, but then also Trevor Lawrence. Made a step. Well, I think it was the second year. Was that a second or third year? I think second year. So you're making that leap, and you're thinking, okay, in the playoffs, he beats the Chargers, but now, like when you kind of take in things into account, it's not like Justin Herbert was up there. You know what I mean? It's like you beat someone who's kind of trying to still do what you're doing. Like, I mean, yeah, a win's a win. I mean, obviously in the playoffs, that's great.
Yeah.
But I'm not putting too much in the fact that he outdo Justin Herbert, because the stock's low on Herbert for me personally
right now.
I'll probably talk about that more Sunday, but so Trevor Lawrence, like you were saying though, I thought he made that leap, but it's a lot of that Kurt Warner commentary the other week kind of during the London game when he was like, something ain't right with Trevor Lawrence. I was like, I see what he's saying. Like, we need another gear here. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, it was just like I remember what he said. He said you need to make those layup throws. You need to make those easy check down throws. You don't have to go for the long ball. We've seen it. We know that you're able to do it. We know that you're able to throw a deep ball. But in order to be that great elite quarterbacks, you need to make every throw, and you need to make them consistently. So, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I was disappointed, like going over the numbers, like going over these teams. It's like, man, this shouldn't be a question, dude. Like, the Jaguars should be heavily favored, and Trevor Lawrence should dominate. I don't care, like, if it's against a good Saints defense. Remember, I hate like being this guy. I'm not that old, but like remember back in the day when a great quarterback was going against an elite defense, it was going to be like a chess match. Now we don't know what the hell we're going to get. Are we going to get like Trevor Lawrence that's locked in and making plays, or is going to be making mistakes?
We just got to accept Trevor Lawrence. He's not there yet, right? He's not there. And obviously I'm not saying he's totally unpredictable, but like if you go into a game, you have a decent team around you, and this is all the qualifiers I got to say. Like, you have a solid offense. He has a weapon, Etienne, great weapon on offense. You have all the receivers. You have a above average defense. If you're a above average quarterback, you probably should win most of those games.
Yep.
If you had like Aaron Rodgers on this team, I'm like, oh yeah, easy. Jags will win. You see what I'm saying? But like with Trevor Lawrence, it's it's like I don't know what he is.
Yeah, and it's annoying because you can look at any other quarterback, and the reason why I'm disappointed is like, well, we've become used to it now because these quarterbacks like don't come ready to play, and I don't expect them to. Yes, you do need like a year or two to sit back, but year 3. You should be ready to go, especially this is the second year under Doug Peterson. I know that Doug Peterson is just taking back over the play calling duties, but I still like from history. What do we see with Aaron Rodgers? Like, yeah, he came in, he took a couple of years under Brett Favre, and then when he was played, he was ready to go. What did Tom Brady do? He came in under Drew Bledsoe, and then due to injury, he had to play his second year. And he fucking won a couple Super Bowls his first couple of years. Obviously, that's an outlier. But Patrick Mahomes, what did he do? He was under Alex Smith, and who doesn't get enough credit, by the way, for what the Chiefs are now. And then he came in, he was ready to play. It's just Ben Roethlisberger did the same thing too. Like all of these other quarterbacks that we love and we know. I don't know what the story was. Peyton Manning came in as a rookie and he balled out, right?
Yeah, rookie. He played from day one. He had like as many interceptions as touchdowns first year.
Okay,
but year 2 was at least. And normally, like I would say, modern day NFL, year 3 is supposed to be your year. Like everyone measures this against like Josh Allen. Like when Josh Allen got Stephon Diggs, a couple years in the system. Josh Allen is Josh Allen. Now he's still, got that Brett Favre in him, erratic.
Yeah.
But that's what makes him great too. Like, I mean, but I don't think he's gonna win a Super Bowl playing like that all the time. But the point, you gotta make that jump. Like it's gotta be clear that you're the man. And like I know that there's some Trevor Lawrence fans in the chat here. Again, I believed in him last year. I thought Urban Meyer screwed him up his rookie year, and then you get Doug Peterson. I want to physically, I want to see that leap, right? And I'm just not seeing it yet. Was he banged up, more than we thought? Maybe has been a lingering thing, you know what I mean? So it's just, it remains to be seen, right? But he has all the weapons. There's no excuses. I'll tell you that. There's not going to be any excuses for him by the end of this season.
That's exactly how I feel, and that's why I say I'm like disappointed in not only Trevor Lawrence, but like kind of like the overall quarterback play of everyone. Like I just want it to be better. And every time I have that feeling, it go back to like some of the statements that, Brady made his last couple of years. He's like, well, not only it might be stupid to some people, but he thought, letting any position have any number was going to lead to a lot of bad football because it's hard to read. It's harder to read a defense for the quarterback when you see all these different numbers all over the place. Because if you could know someone in their 20s was a DB, then you could like, all right, well, he's in the box. Like now it's just harder. Now it's just harder for QBs to read defenses. And because of that, we've seen, poor QB play. I think that has a big point to do with everything.
Mental.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
more mental, and that era of Peyton and Tom Brady, like that's when they started doing all these audibles at in the line. Like Peyton really kind of started a movement, and Brady was right there. It's like, okay, I'm gonna, that's the best thing you do is you measure yourself against the best, and that's what they did with each other. And so, who's pushing like this forward? Like Mahomes is just better than everybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like it's not even fair. You know what I mean? It's like I'm a fan of Josh Allen, but he's not on Mahomes' level. Probably Burrow if he's healthy. It's probably the closest. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like you don't have these other quarterbacks, like you said, really mentally there, and sometimes they don't even give them control at the line. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I'm going to be kind of watching tonight too, since, with a Thursday night game or any Monday night game, whatever. I look at, quarterback play. Is he in control of the offense, And that's one thing I'm gonna look at with Trevor Lawrence, man, because I looked at that with Herbert. What was that Monday night?
Yeah,
or Sunday? It was a Monday night, and so
Monday night.
That was more on Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator, because Herbert looked confused half the game.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, okay, this dude ain't it. Like, just not yet. You know what I mean? But maybe this is who he is. And so, like I said, with Trevor Lawrence, it's probably mental. And like I said, we'll see. I guess we'll see tonight what he does.
Yeah, it's just I hope he comes ready to play. Stay in the pocket. You don't need to rush around and hurt your ankle again. If they try to hit you low, like they did when they injured you late in the game, they'll get flagged for it if you do it inside the pocket. So I will say really quickly about the Saints defense. Nothing to shrug at though, right? I watched the game where the Buccaneers scored 26, I think it was 26-9. The game ended up being. They scored the most points on the Saints this season so far, but I think they caught them. They caught them in a good rivalry matchup, and division matchup. But besides that, the Saints pass D has been holding wide receivers to a 69.2 rate, which is 4th in the NFL. And if you're looking at Jacksonville offense, you're looking at Calvin Ridley and you're looking at Kirk. Like that's two of the top wide receivers in the NFL, and you're going against the 4th pass defense against wide receivers and the 8th pass defense against tight ends. So they're not nothing to shrug at. The Saints pass D they're great, obviously, but I would put the Jacksonville defense above them a little bit, and they're actually ranked above them more, and they're ranked higher as a rushing defense as well. And the latest running backs against the Jacksonville defense, they've only been averaging around 4 yards a game. And if you're looking at Alvin Kamara, the last 2 games he's been in, he's under 4 yards a game. So it's like he hasn't been looking great, dude. So what do you have for me, Saints offense? Is it going to be Derek Carr that comes out of the woodwork? I mean, Chris Olave hasn't been a great standout for him as a wide receiver. I mean, last week, 10 targets, 7 receptions, 96 yards, but no score, dude. No score. We need you to score the ball to win the game. So yeah, I guess let me turn on the music and let's get into the final predictions real quick. The actual predictions for tonight. We did our commentary. We talked about what we think of each team. I didn't realize we're going to go on a tangent about the quarterbacks, but that was really on my heart, dude.
That's all natural,
I feel that, dude. I feel that.
We have more time on Thursdays, you know what I mean, to kind of do that too. So
absolutely, yeah. We can talk about these players. We can go into depth into these teams, and that's why I'm excited to do this Thursday night countdown, because we get to talk more about certain teams. And hopefully both of our teams. I don't know if the Bears already played. Oh, they already played. Yeah, they won. They won against the Commanders. 40 points.
That was
a couple weeks ago. Yeah, so
that's a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Unless we do like a Thanksgiving stream and they play on Thanksgiving, I don't know if we'll have the Bears again, but maybe we'll see the Colts on Thursday night. So, but for tonight, as Money Train Wayne says, Kamara needs to go off for him. It's his only player playing tonight in fantasy. I got Calvin Ridley tonight, and I think my prediction is it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a low-scoring game, and the first person who scores and kind of gets a lead, I think, is going to dictate how this game goes. Unless both teams go down on their first drive and they both score a touchdown, whoever falls behind is going to fall behind and stay there, I think, just because of how the defenses are. They're very stout, and you got to take your opportunities where you can. So I think the Jacksonville Jaguars steal another one on the road. They've been playing on the road the last couple of weeks, realistically, in London, and now they're back in the States. I think they're rip-roaring, ready to go. I think Trevor Lawrence at 85% is still better than whatever their quarterback, the backup quarterback situation is. So I got them winning at home. Derek Carr is going to find a way to lose this. But how do you feel about this game? I know we talked about Trevor Lawrence a lot and his misfortune. So who do you think is going to win, bro?
Yeah, so like we said with the Jags, Trevor Lawrence, he has a lot to show. Their division, AFC South, is it's going to start kind of separating because the Colts, Anthony Richardson is out for the year now, so they're going to come back down to earth a little bit. The Colts are, because of quarterback play. CJ Stroud may challenge them. Titans may, but everyone's going to fade away. I think it's going to be all about the Jags, and we'll kind of see again what they're going to do on the road. In New Orleans now. The only advantage I give New Orleans is that they're at home.
Yeah.
And they're going to be feisty at home. It's a Thursday game. Weird stuff happens. So this is like, I guess, a reverse upset. Like they're actually favored, but it's kind of an upset if the Saints win. And I'm picking the Saints actually to win a close game at home Thursday night because I don't think Lawrence is fully healthy. And I think it's those mind games. There's something up here mentally. The Jags are going to end up okay for the season, but I think they're going to drop this one tonight.
Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. And the first Thursday countdown, we have differing picks, and tomorrow we can see who won. That's pretty awesome. But shout out to Josh Herrera for stopping by.
Josh,
obviously, yeah. He's saying smash the like. If you haven't yet, smash the like button, please, on whatever channel this is on. If we're on Twitter, if you're watching this on SylNation Sports Network, YouTube, or my YouTube, make sure you hit the like because we want to get these discussions going. And if your team's playing on Thursday night, we want you here. We want you to tell us, hey, this is what you should be looking at for tonight and Thursday's game. Because obviously, if it's your team, you've been watching all the coverage. I hope so, at least. Because the NFL season is only here for so long, dude. It's not here for 52 weeks out of the league. There's 18 regular season weeks, I should say. 17 games that your team plays. So soak it all in. This is all we got. And then the offseason comes and we're just like, what do we do? We're gonna watch the XFL now? All right, cool. All right, man. All right. But no, shout out to the XFL. Shout out to everyone in the chat tonight, obviously, for coming through. I want to see some chat predictions real quick before we slide out. What do you guys think is going to happen tonight? And before we go, one thing we don't do with a good countdown because there's so many games, but one thing we should do for the Thursday countdown, let's give a little points prediction. What do you think the points are going to be, dude? So I said Jags are going to win. I think they're going to win 23-17. I think that's going to be the score tonight. Close game, like I said. Who do you think? What do you think the score is going to be with the Saints winning?
I think 17-14. I think it's going to be ugly.
17-14.
game.
14. Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
17-14. Saints going to keep it ugly. It's going to be turnovers. I don't see Kamara going off, but they got Jamal Williams back there as well, so I think they're going to both kind of do that tandem thing. I think it's going to be a nice, ugly score tonight.
Nice, ugly. So, hey, man, might be the old school football, dream for you to watch the defense go off. I'd like to see some defensive scores, bro. It hasn't been enough pick sixes this year so far. I'd like to see that, but I like to see it if it's against Derek Carr. I want the Jags to win. Igor says Jags by 17. I don't know about that, bro. That would be hilarious, though. Stranger things have happened on Thursday night, dude. Any given Sunday, any given Thursday, any given Monday. And come playoff time, any given Saturday, dude.
I like having 3-2
3-2. A field goal and safety. The worst game in history.
3-2.
It's got to be like the lowest score. If that happened, the lowest scoring game in NFL history, dude. 17-20. Money Train James says, and Mr. J says 27-16. He didn't say who he picked, but we'll see.
I think he's picking the Saints.
Oh, he said Derek Carr for the win. Okay. And I
don't see him scoring that much, but hey, maybe they get a defensive score or two.
27-16. Yeah, defensive score, right? Puts you right up there. It's a real quick. It'd be good. I say this for every like primetime game, dude, and I really, really mean it. For me, for you, Sil, for everybody in the chat. I just hope it's a good game, dude. I just hope it's a good game. That's why I named that the league for our fantasy league Good Games, bro, because I want everyone to have good games. It's so disappointing when your team comes to play, they play once a week, and they just throw out a dud on the field, and you have to watch that. Like I don't wish that on anybody, any fan in any fandom. You know what I mean?
Like Money James said, this isn't a line to bet on for sure.
No.
Like, I always say, anytime it's like under 4 points, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching it because just too much can happen in a close game like that. So the Saints, I mean, obviously I think they're cover. But this could easily be like a 20-19 game or something like that where they won't cover. This could be that ugly.
A last-minute touchdown or a 2-point conversion that puts them ahead by 1 point. Yeah, don't ever bet the spread on a less than 4 point because we always say like a 3-point spread. That's like a pick 'em.
That's a pick 'em.
That's a pick 'em, dude.
According to Vegas, that's virtually a pick. I know it's like a favorite, but maybe 3.5 you can get away with it, but. If it's like 3 points or under, it's like I'm not putting no money on that. Necron,
hey, come in. What's good, Necron? What's good?
Yeehaw, dude. I said Dak is above average. Like I'll be honest, I would take Dak. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't say I would put him clearly over Derek Carr, but Dak was running a little bit more. I'll give Dak a little more credit. I mean, he looked good. He looked good Monday night.
He's the uncle, not the dad, bro.
He's the uncle. That's why it's like, do you trust him though? That's the thing. I think he's more talented than Derek Carr. I will say that. He's more talented.
Okay. There you go. He's got more explosivity than Derek Carr. But do we trust him more? I don't know. I don't know if I give him my keys, bro. I don't know. Hey, bro, but. Thank you. Obviously, hater verified in 4K. Yeah, dude. It's not. I don't hate Dak Prescott. Wow, I don't hate Dak Prescott. I just hate Cowboys Nation, bro. That's all I hate, bro. And I'll be real about it. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm real about it, bro.
Yeah.
But you got any final thoughts before we send it on off there? Anything to promo for the weekend, bro?
Definitely, I'm pushing, especially on the sports streams, I'm pushing more activity to the Twitter, at SylNation SN on Twitter, SylNation Sports Network on Twitter. I'm going to be doing like short video clips on there. If this game ends up exciting, I may do like a quick reaction, at the end of the night, and then I think I kind of have my template set up where I can kind of start porting those over to the YouTube channel too. So. So keep an eye, like last Monday, that Colts Chargers, Cowboys Chargers, that was a pretty good game. I was impressed by the Cowboys, so I did a short video on the Twitter for that. So We'll see. Now, if this is just a snooze fest like the Giants Bills, even though it was close, we weren't expecting it close, right? But it still was a terrible game. I'm not going to react to terrible games, right? So if this ends up being a shootout, then you'll probably see me do a quick video. So we're pushing that Twitter, SylNation at SylNation SN. On Twitter.
Yeah, we need that to be a good game because I'd like to see that tomorrow too. I'd like to see a nice reaction video. Everything for the NFL is just popping off. It's just really starting. Like this is kind of like we're getting to the flow of things right now. It's week 7, starting week 7, and it's the beginning of where teams are going to show themselves. So hopefully tonight, like we talked about earlier, Trevor Lawrence. Show yourself. I need to see you.
Mental.
Yeah, I need to see you break free from that like airhead
That's
mentality.
not an audible. That's not an audible. That's think.
Just think, dude. I hope he does that to line tonight. Like, shit, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Oh shit! But yo, thank you for being here again. So, well, we'll be back again. The good countdown will be on Sunday. We'll see everybody there. We'll go over the fantasy forecast. We'll go over the parlays. Oh! Before the game starts, I have it, bro. I didn't even talk it. We didn't even bring it up. Let me bring this up real quick. Boom.
Oh yeah.
Player rushing and receiver yards.
Yeah.
Quick parlay from Syl.
Yeah. So I like this stat. It's on different sports books. So you probably can find this on any one. But going off of just a flow of the offense, how these players are used. I was considering doing under for Alvin Kamara because, again, just a trend. Jamal Williams is getting a lot of touches. And Kamara I don't know if he's, all the way back, short week. So I'm going to go for the under on Kamara. This is rushing and receiving together. Travis Etienne has been beasting, so I'm taking over for him for tonight. But it won't be enough to win.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I would say if I'm looking at this too, it's safe to bet the under for Alvin Kamara because he hasn't been performing well, and he's going against a very stout Jags defense. And ETN has been eating, and I assume he will continue to eat behind that. The offensive line is a little banged up, so it wouldn't be safe. You won't play the under. It's always a safe bet, but you want to get a little more frisky with it. Bet that over because you never know with ETN. But yo, my bad for not bringing you to the parlay partay sooner, chat. That's what it is, bro. Make sure that you get your bets in real quick. The game's about to start. He says, "So take the alternate yards at the bottom, bro."
So I'll explain the reason why. Definitely, alternate is a safe route, but the odds are, I kind of go, gambling is gambling, so I'm kind of gambling for better odds. So, but alternate yards is like, Etienne's gonna get 70, but you're gonna have less of a payout. So, obviously bet responsibly, and it's gonna be safe, like Money Train James. Yeah. But over under, I think it has just the better, bang for your buck. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You play it safe, and if you want a better payout, that's what we do. Yeah. Hey man, we're not national television, so we don't need the Cowboys for anything. And I will say, Jerry Jones is a part of that television committee for the NFL, so there's probably a reason why the Cowboys are talked about so much. But I don't know. If you want to look into things, that's on you. Hey man, I think the Dallas Cowboys are a top 10 team. We'll see where they land, at the end of the season. We'll see where they land, bro. But it's time. It's time to start the game. So everybody, switch on over. I watched the full 22-man cam on Thursday night on Prime. That's my favorite thing to do because they give you all the stats. They give you like where the route should have went or the most open receiver. It's really cool. It's kind of like Madden almost. You see all like the player rings and stuff. That's so cool. Yeah, you can go over on Twitch actually and watch that. They have it on Twitch. Okay. The Thursday night Prime. They have the broadcast and they have the alternate 22-man cam. So thank you again, everybody, for being here. We're gonna be back on the good countdown. I brought you all to the party, and it's time to go home. The next party we're gonna go to, I think everybody, if you were in Syl's chat earlier, we're all getting ready for it. We're gonna go to the F. James Gunn party, but we'll be there in a bit. Everybody have a good night. Peace.
Oh man.